Good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday. Thank you for coming back here to the Maxed Out Podcast. I'm your host, Chad Shorey. And before we get into today's topic, I want to talk about my Savage of the Week. My Savage of the Week this week is Sophie Cunningham. Sophie, I know you're never ever going to watch this podcast, okay? I'm okay with that. However, a ton of respect for the brand that you're building for yourself right now. It goes without saying your stock has risen so high. Seeing what you do in the WNBA, protecting Caitlin Clark on a week-to-week basis. Then you're the UFC ring girl the other night. I mean, you're living the life. So kudos to you. We all appreciate you. Yes, for what it's worth, you are the maxed out Savage of the Week. So there's your prize. Today, my topic is, and however we want to word it, however you like to say it. I like to call them savages. I like to call them killers, ballers, people that I not only respect, I envy, I strive to be more like them, love what they're doing and appreciate. I think when you're younger, it's easier to be more jealous than it is either envious, ask questions, or fully appreciate what they're doing and building. Mostly for me, this pertains to business. For such a long time, with such a small mindset, come out of high school in 2000, went to community college for 2 years, got my associate's degree. But even that, so I went for automotive technology, which I knew I was never ever going to apply to the real world at all. I knew that at the time I was going to go do my best to try and get in the local paper mill. And I succeeded. Got in there in, August of 2002. So essentially 2 months after I graduated college. Worked there for 12 years of my life. 14. Whatever. 12, 14, somewhere in there. It doesn't matter. But always had the small mindset that a week to week and then it went to bi-weekly paycheck was good enough. I think my best year there, I made $55,000, and I thought I was on top of the world. Still paycheck to paycheck, mind you, but literally thought I was the cat's ass. My ego was bigger than the room, okay? I don't know why. My parents didn't raise me that way. I was cocky. Middle school, high school, I don't know why. I just simply was. People that I was rude to growing up, I tried my best to make amends, apologize, because knew going into adulthood I didn't want to portray that way. But anyway, long story short, 55,000 best year, thought I was awesome. Meanwhile, at the time, throughout some of these years, a good friend of mine, J.R. Dow, who owned his own cedar shingle business, killing it, straight up killing it. Family-owned business, handed down through the generations, but ultimately he brought that baby back to life, made it what it was, grew it, and it never really friggin' registered with me. And actually had a text conversation with him the other day, like, man, I wish you would have smacked me in the face years ago. Right? So you figure I'm 45 now. We was hanging out roughly when I was late 20s, early 30s in that ballpark. And here he is slaying it. Right? Dude could buy whatever he wanted. But he lived humbly, had a mobile home. You never know that he was doing so well for himself. Saved up money over time. I think he had told me at the time, his loose change and whatever, and bought himself a Harley, so it still wasn't registering with me. It took me many years into the position that I'm in now with my business to see, like, holy shit. And now I think JR is going to be approaching 50 or is 50 right in that ballpark. And he's like basically retired, whatever. I'm just getting started, and here he is, like, getting ready to shut her down. So, wish I would have paid better attention to him back then versus, like, hey, what are we doing Friday? What are we doing Saturday? Where are we going? Me losing my job at the mill was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. I will never say that it was the best thing that could have ever happened for this small town and community, because ultimately it was not. Anytime that you lose something that employs a lot of people, it's a tax base. There's people that are eating at your restaurants and your convenience stores. That's never a good thing. So I'm not going to sit here and act like that was awesome. Just for me, on a personal stance, the best thing that could have ever happened to me, because I was going to end the rest of my life as a clamp truck driver. So on a fork truck that has clamps. That's not what I'm capable of. That's not all I am. That's not who I am. I've had my CDL Class A license since I was 18. Could have done something with that. Got an associate's degree, but never had this vision of doing anything. So it took years of going into jobs that I didn't necessarily care for, I wasn't great at, but got to meet people over time, right? So I worked at this heating and plumbing supply house, and my boss at that given time, a few years older than me, killing it. Here he's got a couple heating and plumbing companies and just absolutely slaying it. But also, some of the heating and plumbing guys that I met during that time were pretty freaking amazing to me, okay? One guy in particular, Travis Smith, this guy, I swear to God, does not sleep. I don't know when he sleeps, if he sleeps, anything. But also the kindest human being. He knew that I did not have a heating and plumbing background, okay? He never made me feel inferior to him, stupid being around him. I was doing purchasing and warranties, but also had to pick some orders from time to time. And granted, again, I don't know everything there is about this stuff. He was the type of guy that he's like, here, Chad, I'm going to be ordering this part frequently, so next time if I call or you've got to deliver it to me, you know where to go and actually get it. Take me out in my own warehouse, right? And show me the part that he was going to need. That was like 2017, in that ballpark. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget people that were good to me. And Travis was always pulling in the driveway with a new truck, a new this, a new that. Humble as heck. One of the most humble human beings. Will give you the shirt off his back. But the guy don't sleep. He's a hustler. He is going to crank out heat pumps day in, day out. Boiler jobs day in, day out. He is going to just wreck his body. But then you're going to see him and his wife enjoying their time in Mexico. And I always aspired to be that. Still do. I want to be at the level that Travis is at. Again, a man that started out with a family business. It was much bigger before him. Gets down to him, it's much smaller. But he's willing to just go. And I love that gear about him. I've become very good friends with Cooper Hogan out of the Herman area. Travis does business with him. Travis has done work for me. It's all this massive network, right? Cooper's got 2 successful businesses down in the Herman area. Just started a floor epoxy business, but also has his custom detailing and ceramic coatings for vehicles. Slaying the area, okay? We try to have weekly talks if we can, if it works out, and we just totally nerd out on business, and we talk of like the Travis Smiths. We talk about the year that we're having, where we're projecting to be, what's next. It's infectious to be around these people, but it's also neat to see the different tiers of success. Cooper and I have had this conversation of when do you think you're going to be happy with your success, or do you consider yourself successful? Don't know how to answer that, right? Literally don't. When you've built something from nothing, my family didn't have my business. I started this as a side gig. It has grown wings beyond my belief, but I'm also not naive enough to know that a lot of the good partnerships and businesses that I have and work for, that could be gone tomorrow. I've had that happen while working at Mills. You get all the promises in the world, and next thing you know, you're without a job. So it's always finding a different avenue to hopefully remain on the path to success. But I don't know when we necessarily consider ourselves successful. And I don't know if the guys that I spoke of earlier, like JR, like Travis, if they consider themselves successful. Maybe there's a next level for them. But it's nice to see these tiers up the ladder. Ideally, I'm doing what I'm doing with this podcast because of folks like Andy Frisella and Sean Whalen. Those are my 2 staples. Listening to them, they both kind of have similar but also different messages, right? You got Frisella over here saying like, don't bring your marriage into business and try and build off that. Whereas Sean has done that in the past with his ex-wife Saxony, and like they kind of built a business together and a model together. So take what you want. I don't know them on a personal level, but I also like picking apart different pieces that they have. But anyway, that's why a lot of us are here, is because of listening to guys like them, like Cooper Hogan and myself, where we're less years in business, but also not family-owned businesses that are trying to make this go on our own. Both Cooper and I will totally nerd out to, a person that we know, and, Andy Ball. Andy has so many businesses in the Bangor Brewer area, with his car sales, with his mobile home sales. I think he has the perfect last name because Andy Ball is a baller. The guy is a straight up slayer. I just love watching his content. It's fun to sit back on a person like that I've met like a couple times, nothing of magnitude, but I was at a hard time financially at one point, and he helped get me out of a truck payment, so he bought the truck that I had. But I love watching the success that man has had and continues in his early to mid 50s. The guy isn't done, right? Like, it's so infectious to watch. So I think it's neat when you really dial it back. So, start at Frisella, start at Sean Whalen. They give you the motivation. They're the voice in your ear, like, go hard in the gym, go hard in your relationship, go hard in business, and then scale it back and look around you like who is slaying it? Who do I aspire to be like? What do they have that I wish I had? And it's okay to think like that. Again, for me at this point, it's not jealousy. It's like, holy fuck, cool. That's awesome. I'm glad that you got that. I can't say enough about it. Cooper just bought a brand new pickup. And yep, it's financed, just like all my stuff. But it's like, congrats, dude. Like, you still got to pay the payment. So as long as business is rolling, that payment still gets paid. Still going to have that healthy registration. Thankfully, business is good enough to pay that registration. But it's fun to bask in your friends' success with them, because we all want to be along for the ride, right? That's cool as hell to see the growth. And then, like, right here in my hometown, Keenan Joy has, taken Lincoln Power Sports to a whole new level, okay? He is a silent assassin, that one. Like, one of the coolest dudes you'll ever meet. Super chill, doesn't say a whole lot, minds his own business. You're not going to see him doing all the things on social media, except for cool adventures. You know, he's either doing something cool with snowmobiles, ATVs, wet jets, boats, you name it. But to see where he has come from, like a small town of Metawamkeg, went to school here at Lincoln, moved to New Hampshire, started small business out there, brings it back to his hometown, and now this has just like blown up, So I love seeing when he's got a new vehicle rolling in that he's purchased or whatever. So it gives you, no matter their age, right? Like, Keenan and Cooper are both younger than me. Travis Smith is younger than me. Andy Ball and JR are older than me. Age has no bearing on where you want your end goal to be. Someone asked me to jot out goals that you have. And one for me, I've never ordered a vehicle. So yeah, even if I've got to finance it and all that, I've never thought of myself of being the person that could go and order a truck. So when it comes in, it's got your name on it, specifically built for, like, that's cool. That to me is like one step, right? And it's not for the look at me factor. When I was cocky and egotistical in my younger years, it was about the look at me factor. Now I'll get vehicles, and a lot of people won't know that I even purchase them, because it's like, they're materials. I need them. I need them for my business. I need them for growth. And they're just a pickup, right? No matter how nice or whatever they are or what I do to them, I don't care. So even if I was able to go and order a truck specifically for me, built at the factory, yada yada, it's not for the look at me factor. It's like, I'm coming. Like, I'm gonna get there. I'm making it for myself. So I love watching these guys and what they're doing. It motivates me. I love having the conversations with people about it. And it's fun whenever you get to be around these people in the room and just be a sponge. Let it all soak in, because you're going to learn something if you have your ears open. Had I had my ears open 15 years ago hanging out with JR, maybe I wouldn't just be starting out now. Maybe, because the economy was affordable then, would have been a great time to start the business and get going. And there was less competition back then. Plus I was younger, but did not have the killer mindset. I'm not saying that every person has got to have the killer mindset, but it's fun to be around straight up alphas, straight up killer mindset, and you all are just like Charlie Sheen. Go, right? So, yeah, that's what I have today. I think what, I want to instill amongst this podcast is a maxed out mindset, which is listen to your gut and do what makes you happy, right? Stop waiting forever. Make it happen somehow. A lot of people do it in crappy economies. Some people do it in the best of economies. If you have the drive, you have the motivation, the no quit, the I will not take no for an answer, you can do it. You'll make it happen. Currently for me, just a little bit of a business breakdown. Things I'm working on currently is I am a general contractor on a Camp Edition remodel. So that's something new for me. Never thought that I would see the day that Maxed Out Services went in that direction, but here we are. Got covered for it with my insurance provider. And here we are, GC on a job. I'm not going to say I'm the best GC, but you got to start somewhere, right? So if you're someone that's chasing success instead of excuses, I hope that you hit subscribe. We're trying to build something here that we all enjoy and can have fun, positive discussion on. So, on that note, have a great day, everyone.